Hi, Manabendra. Hello.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. So today's topic is leveraging your career opportunities in sustainability and energy domain. We have with us Mr. Harish Sharma, who is the team lead of Carbon Check India Private Limited, who is the distinguished speaker today. He has an experience of 15 years in the field of renewable energy technologies with 2 patents in his name. He is also pursuing his part-time PhD program in computer science, the implementation of dummy variables and IoT concept for consumer-side load management of smart grid. He is also responsible for the advisory of various renewable energy projects along with the solar EPC and project management. And he has successfully executed various renewable energy projects in the domain of solar, hydro, biomass, and wind with a wide spectra of specialization in solar power projects. So thank you, sir, for kindly consenting to grace the occasion today. The stage is all yours now, sir. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Vaibhav Nag. Thanks for the brief introduction. And at the outset, I just want to thank you, Indian Institute of Social Welfare and Business Management, and AWE USA for giving me the opportunity to interact with all the students and the faculty members. A very good evening, all, and thank you for joining me today to learn about exciting career opportunities which are existing in the market in the field of sustainability as well as energy domain. So, as we all know, our planet is facing some major challenges right now, and from climate change to resource depletion, there are other kind of catastrophic things which we are just over the globe we are just witnessing. But what you may not be knowing that these challenges are also kind of creating some incredible opportunities in these fields. And students like you who just want to pursue their career in various aspects of the sustainability and energy domain. So there are much to do in these things which can make a difference. This is Harish Sharma from Carbon Check. I'm working as a team leader, and I'm a qualified lead auditor for various scope of United Nations, means industrial scope, scope 1, 2, 3, which is for energy generation, energy efficiency, and scope 2 is for energy distribution, scope 3 is for energy generation, scope 4 is basically for the industrial project. Apart from this, I am qualified for scope 13, which is waste to energy project, and municipal solid waste projects are in this category. So this is a brief which has been presented by Vaibhav Nag also. So just before starting the presentation, I'm just going to take you on a journey through the many different career paths available in the field of sustainability and energy. We will explore everything right from the renewable energy to sustainable agriculture and green building and climate policy and much more. But before we just dive into the main content of the PPT, just want to tell you, give you the sense that this is the important energy as well as sustainability. These two things are very important for our planet and for your career aspirations also, because I think from you all are from the energy background and from the sustainability field, correct? So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir, I'm interfering your speech. Sir, I am PhD scholar from KIT. Now I have joined 2022. Sir, can you give your phone number for my upcoming the project? Regarding project, I don't have any idea regarding the project. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Sir, there is no sound from you.
Sir, you are not audible.
Sir, have you listened what I am
Oh.
saying?
Okay, so I was not at all audible
Yes,
No,
sir,
sir.
you are audible, sir.
earlier. I was
Yes, sir, you
audible.
are.
And somebody, I think somebody muted me actually. I'm not sure from
Sir,
where
I-
I was being muted.
Sir, I am Partha Chakraborty. I am telling something regarding my PhD scheme. I am doing
So
PhD from
actually,
KIT.
I was telling the same thing. So the question and answer, these all interactive session we will take later on, because currently we have a time limit of 45 minutes, and energy and sustainability both are a big subject to cover. So let these 45 minutes just let me introduce all these concepts and whatever
Okay, sir.
opportunities are there.
Yes, sir.
Thereafter, last 15 minutes we will have for interactive session. So there we can discuss with you also, and if there would be any question from other participants, so I'll take them separately. Okay.
Sir, have you any, sir, can you give your phone number to communicate with you regarding?
Sure. You can ask from the the team who has introduced this. So they have my all.
Okay,
number.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so let's just start from the presentation. So, okay, so means before we start the presentation, I just want to tell you that these fields like energy, sustainability are important both for the planet and for the career of the aspirants. And by the end of this presentation, I hope that you will be feeling inspired and empowered to pursue career, not only with support to your goals, but also contribute to the sustainable and equitable future for all of us. So please, first slide, please. Okay. So means energy and sustainability, because all are the well qualified engineers from energy and sustainability. So I'll not take much of the time for the technical discussion. So energy, as we know, is nothing but the capacity of any physical system to do the work, means ability to do the work, correct, perform the work. So there are various forms of energy we all know. And about sustainability, so in brief, if we can say, sustainability is doing things, whether means doing things or whatever meeting our needs in present scenario, without compromising the future of coming generation. So if we are doing anything where we are not jeopardizing the future of our coming coming generation, so that way will be the sustainable. But you can say as the businesses currently are running, and we are exploring so many things on the earth, so these all resources which we are exploring are depleting very soon and fastly depleting. So it is not a sustainable way of production or of living on the earth, because in this way this product, whatever it is, production or the lifestyle, will not be sustainable for the coming future. So anything related to, whether it is a lifestyle, whether it is an industry or any practice, so being sustainable is to dependent on the things which are actually renewable. So in terms of energy, sustainability actually aspect is present in every aspect of the life, but we consider it more with the energy only, because energy are kind of process which actually depend on the natural resources. And here's how the concept of renewable energy actually comes. Okay, like solar and wind, tidal, there are so many energies which are abundant and we should use them. And slowly, if you are see in global scenario, the energy mix of renewable share is increasing slowly, and every country is targeting its carbon emission. Actually, if you it is a very broad subject. Sustainability is a very broad subject. these emissions, GHG emissions, are linked to the energy demand and energy generation only, correct? So every country is targeting, I think from last 1.5 years, you might be checking in newspaper articles. There are so many articles where you can see the global GHG emissions reductions and all these targets which the countries are taking, correct? So in fact, India also has stated that by 2070 we will be carbon neutral, which is actually a very distant goal and seems very impossible if we see the current situation, correct? So technological advancement may come which can fulfill those desires, but I'm not sure. So now the overview of the presentation, if you see, so we will check the career opportunity in sustainability energy domain. Thereafter, we will talk about sustainability and energy job market and the trends, and we'll be sharing some tips for sustainable energy domain. And last, we will be discussing about the conclusion, correct? So can you please show next slide? Yeah, please, next slide. I think this is not the updated presentation we are showing. Yeah, actually, this is not a updated presentation. Can you show the presentation, which is actually I shared you last on the WhatsApp? Yeah, next slide, please. Next one. No, this is not updated. Okay, no issues. I can tell you by myself. So first is the energy efficiency and management. So when we say about this is one of the opportunity, correct? Energy efficiency and management. So in every industry there are certain requirement of energy, like electricity, correct? Some fuel kind of means to run the DG sets, or fuel in the boilers, vapor absorption machines, natural gas is required. So there are various equipment which actually run on the either electricity or various fuels, okay? So being an energy manager, your role will be to just efficiently run all those equipment. PLF means plant load factor would be the highest, because if plant is not running on the highest capacity, so the wastage will be there, and efficiency of even the efficient equipment will be wasting the energy. So the PLF is important for that purpose, and the efficiency of the equipment also means required. But all those things, the efficient equipment always comes with some cost. So it is always a trade-off between the profitability and the cost. Okay, so one have to make so many trade-offs. So a smart energy manager always make these kind of trade-offs and then decide, means how much electricity consumption he has to save, or how much fuel he has to save, whether he has to employ more efficient equipments, or whether it is okay to go with the less efficient one, considering the various external factor like profitability also, and the kind of competition with other groups also. So these all are the domain of the energy manager, and for this actually you require a very fast means kind of accurate calculations and analytical mind. So you must be more analytical in this aspect in terms of efficiency, input, output. So you must understand those all concepts. So this is the requirement for this. and after that, renewable energy development, deployment, and consulting. So renewable energy, if you say currently, which are in mainstream, means mainstream are wind, solar hybrid, and standalone solars, grid connected solars. So these kind of project provide you many aspects for the job opportunity. So if we start from initial design, okay, so if you go to the kind of design part, so in designing there is a means extensive opportunity, because designing a solar power plant is not a kind of very difficult thing. You should have a knowledge of the DC, AC fields, DC fields, and these all conversions. Okay. Apart from this, for solar power project, step up transformers and step down transformers. So these all mean star, delta, delta star. So it is not a rocket science, correct? So with very little means investment of your time, you can become expert in the in designing the solar power project. Unlike hydropower project actually require a vast expertise in designing the hydropower project. You require having the knowledge of civil also. Means not basic. You should have a kind of high level knowledge of civil also, electrical aspects and mechanical aspects, all those things. But in solar, although you require the civil aspect knowledge also, mechanical aspect knowledge also, for the structural thing, wind load analysis, these all things. But there are very few requirement of this stream, means you can easily master this thing. So this is a very promising field if you just work out for the designing part. So it is a very well paid field. So you can pursue your career for the designing. Okay. So one thing is the designing, which comes before installation. Okay. Any kind of EPC or installation. Another part is the consulting part for these kind of renewable energy projects. So in consulting part, there is a possibility of jobs in lender's engineer, for a project. When these kind of projects come, suppose there is a 300 megawatt solar power project or some 50 megawatt wind power project, means wherein multiple wind turbines are going to be installed. So these projects actually are the IPP projects, which is being developed by independent power producers. So what they do, they give 20% equity and 80% loan. Okay. So the agencies who lend these loans, they are the purely financial agencies, correct? They don't know any technical aspect of the project. So for that thing, they employ lenders engineer, because they are lending money. So they employ lender engineers. So the consulting for this lender engineer is a really good promising business. So you can try various consulting are there for the job, where you can do consulting for the lender engineer or owner engineer also. This thing. Apart from this, these kind of agencies or consulting also give the consulting in the field of DPR, detailed project reports, and pre-feasibility reports. So whenever any developer is going to install a project, so they go for the pre-feasibility, whether it is feasible or not. For these kind of activities, you require the understanding of all the legal aspects or legal framework of the country where these projects are going, legal as well as somewhat financial also. And apart from that, technical. For technical, you must know that how the land should be there, means what are the eligibility criteria of a land, how much distance is from the grid for the power evacuation infrastructure. So there are various factors which one have to check before completing a pre-feasibility report or then detailed project reports, correct? So this is the renewable development, the field which is related to more about the service. That was the consulting, which I just discussed. Thereafter, then comes the developers. There are developers who are actually developing these projects, funding them with the equity. Okay, so those developers also require technical staff just to manage these projects. So that is called project management. So if you have a good PMP, means project management practitioner skills, so you can go to some developer also. There is a very secure future also, because these developer do not develop only one project. This is their habit to invest in various projects. So such kind of jobs are the corporate jobs, and these are also very highly paid jobs. So this means skill, their skill is the PMP. You have to have project management skills. From PMP, I'm not saying that you do PMP certification. PMP, I'm saying you must have the project management skills. Okay. So most of the students are really very good in managing the things, so they can pursue their career with this. Apart from this, the technical knowledge is also required. Correct. So these all things can land you a very good job in the developers team. Thereafter, once a developer, with the help of pre-feasibility reports or DPR, decide to invest in a project, then they go to the EPC companies. Correct. So EPC companies are the companies who actually develop the project on turnkey basis. They take money and they develop whole project, like from designing to installation, designing to purchase of all equipments, okay, and then installation and then commissioning. So these are the turnkey projects. So in EPC also there is a very good opportunity. So for energy projects EPC, and even for the power projects EPC, like the solar, hydro, and wind power projects. So there is a very, very good scope. So for renewable energy, I have covered all these aspects. Thereafter, it comes to power utility and transmission. So once project is done, so then it will evacuate electricity into some infrastructure. Correct. So the power utilities are actually grid. So grids are the power utilities, and transcos are the transmission companies who actually transmit electricity from power project to grid, and then grid to then distribute to either to societies or distribute to other grids. Okay. So in these also there are various scopes, and these companies are basically PSUs, either government companies. Power utilities are mostly government companies or PSUs, and transcos are also PSUs. In some states, transcos are government companies. Correct. Then okay, for landing job in these kind of companies, you just require a technical know-how, and there are various online tests they conduct. Time to time they just send the requirement through newspaper or through their websites. You can check. So there are simple tests they take, and they give the jobs. So thereafter, RESCOs are there. RESCO means renewable energy service companies. So nowadays, what's happening? Because electricity from grid, it is expensive for some companies, but some renewable service companies, they install a power project for those companies. They say, okay, the commercial rate of electricity which government is charging to you is 8 rupees. You give me 6 rupees per unit. I will wheel electricity to you from my power project. So these are the third party agreements in which they just dedicatedly install a power project for some of the client and sell that electricity to that client. So these are the renewable energy service companies. Power plants are owned by the RESCOs. They just give them electricity, them means to the industrialist, and charge them lesser amount than the grid electricity. So this way, it is the win-win situation for both, because means RESCO company is installing a project, they are getting revenue, some return, and the industrialists who are purchasing electricity directly through RESCO, they are getting rebate on and over the grid electricity. So this is the win-win situation. So RESCOs are also very good business models, and they are very profitable. So in RESCO companies also, one can go. So RESCOs are basically nothing but these power developers only. Okay, but who has the only kind of business model for the sale of electricity. Then there are some agencies, power trading, as IEX, Indian Exchange. Okay, so these are the power trading who actually trade the power. Means they they take power from somewhere, they have some power purchase agreement, and they sell to other. So these are kind of you can say agents in between, taking power from somewhere and selling to someone else. They don't own any kind of power plant, just they are just kind of fulfilling the supply and demand. Then there are the jobs in the field of sustainability consulting and reporting. So sustainability consulting, nowadays in India also, means big 100 companies, top 100 companies, and top 500 companies, there are some mandates that they have to do sustainability reporting. Means they have to just from their revenue also, they have to means spend some of the some amount of revenue to some sustainable cause also. Okay, so they have to report that how this business is sustainable, and there are some standards like GRI. So on those aspects, they have to evaluate that project, and then they have to report it. So some companies are actually voluntarily doing it, and some company by law they are doing it due to compliance. So on which there is compliance, then they have to do the assurance also. So now there are two kind of company. One, who make the sustainability reports, correct? Sustainability reports for such kind of companies. So those kind of consulting companies also give a very good package. It's also a very highly paid jobs for sustainable consultants. And another kind of companies are those who actually provide you the assurance. So these are the kind of validation and verification companies like ours, like I am in the Carbon Check. So we also provide this assurance. So we check that and we certify that yes, okay, whatever claim they have made, they are correct. Means we have checked the materiality of the claim, and those all are found to be correct. Okay, so there are tools for that also. So these all are also very highly paid jobs which can be focused. Okay, then there are environmental policy and advocacy. So environmental policy and advocacy is also part of the sustainability. So in sustainability also there is a part of environmental policy and advocacy. So one thing I just want to tell you that in sustainability, I just forgot to mention, in sustainability there are 4 pillars of sustainability. Okay, so any business or anything is sustainable if they actually fulfilling those all 4 pillars. So what those are? One is the environmental well-being. If any project is there, it must do environmental well-being. Okay, economical well-being. Economical well-being means it must be profitable, correct? So, otherwise, it is not making any sense. It will not be sustainable anyhow if it is not making profits. So environmental well-being, thereafter economical well-being. Okay, social well-being. Your project should be good for social cause also. It is not that only promoters are kind of making the profits, and socially it is not catering the requirement of the masses, because they are looting something from the social. So socially, social well-being is also one of the pillar, and these are 3. And 4th one is the technical well-being. So there should be some technological advancement through that project also. So all those well-being, 4 well-being are there, then only a project will be considered as the sustainable. So here there is a hint also for you, because if you want to be successful in energy domain, energy and energy, environment, and sustainability domain, so these 4 aspects you have to cover in your knowledge, correct? One is the technical, of course, the domain knowledge you should have, correct? So means whatever, if you are an energy manager, if you are from the field of, suppose you are the expert of solar or wind or hydro, so the technical knowledge you must have. So one is the technical knowledge, another is the environmental policies. Means environmental well-being means for that technology, all environmental laws and legislation you should have. Means total in clarity you should have for those environmental policies. Okay, and social means those means domain in which you are working, how it can harm the social environment. Okay, so all those aspects you should know, so that you can every time you are going for such kind of project, you can make a a plan so that its impact on those social negative things may be minimized or not minimized or mitigated, or if not can be mitigated, then can be minimized. So these are all things. And technological advancement, okay, it means technical should be there always. Economical. So economical means you should have the knowledge of economic aspect of that project. So on these four aspects, you have to gather the knowledge to be successful in this stream, correct? So green building and design, yeah, of course, there is LEED also, which is a standard for green building and design. So actually, I'm not the expert of this green building and design, but it's also a niche field. Means very few consultant and experts are there for this. This is also good. And by coming time, when sustainability and all these aspects of energy efficiency are being told, so the green building and design have a very good future. Then there is a GHG accounting and assurance and carbon credits. So in GHG accounting and assurance, this is the currently a hot topic globally, not in India, because every country need to reduce their emissions. So United Nations, there is a framework known as United Nations Framework on Climate Change Convention, so UNFCCC. So actually in 2012, US back out from this CDM, Clean Development Mechanism. So after that, this mechanism was not successful. But now, recently, the UN has backed it, and last 1.5 years, you can see all the countries are taking targets, and now within next 1 year, there is a very huge market of GHG accounting and assurance also. India is also, I think, you must have read the in newspaper also. India is also going to start its carbon registry, correct? So that is called local carbon registry, wherein they will record that how much carbon actually they emitted, how much they have saved. So these kind of registries also going on. And GHG accounting means every industry, it will be under norm that every industry will have to account its greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, just like financial auditing, so there are GHG auditing also. We do the same thing actually, correct? In carbon check. So we provide assurance also for this. So GHG, we actually validate and verify these kind of projects which are actually reducing the global greenhouse gases. So this and the carbon credits are also related to GHG. Whenever a project, any project which saves or which reduce emission, suppose one project is there and per ton of carbon dioxide emission reduced, it will be equivalent to 1 carbon credit. So 1 ton of carbon dioxide, if it is reduced by some project, it will be equivalent to 1 carbon credit. That project will be granted with 1 carbon credit, and 1 carbon credit has a monetary value. If they will sell it to some markets where compliance will be there to reduce the carbon credit or GHG emission, and if that industry is not able to fulfill that target by their own, so they can purchase that 1 carbon credit, 1 or 2, whatever means, in whatever quantum they have to reduce. And if they fail, so they will purchase equivalent amount of carbon credits. So this carbon credit, vary on technology basis, based on the technologies, based on the region from where it is. So currently, if you say the smallest projects up to 3 euro are the per ton, means per credit is equal to 3 euro. So lakhs of credits are earned by this project. It is a very beneficial project, and business also, and job is also really very good in these highly paid jobs are there in carbon credit and GHG accounting. So for GHG accounting and carbon credits, you can have the certification that is called ISO 14064. You can write if anyone want to pursue their career in GHG accounting and assurance. So they must do a certification. It is 4 or 5 days certification. So it is ISO 14064, part 1 and part 2. So it will empower you to just evaluate any kind of GHG projects. And later on, I will tell you one link also where you can just sharpen your skills, correct? Okay. think we have just discussed all these things. Okay, so entrepreneurship, in this field is really very easy as compared to other fields, because you say there is a huge work for the service industry, correct? So the consulting is very easy to run in this sphere. So there are so many independent consultants or learned individuals who are just as a freelance doing work and earning a very good handsome amount without doing any job. So consulting, so on consulting or entrepreneurship can be done in the field of independent owners engineer or independent lenders engineer, or detailed project report, and also designing part. So there are a very there are many persons who are actually independently designing these all solar power projects and this, and earning on the basis of per megawatt of the project. So this is also a very good means era or area where one can thrive as a entrepreneur also. So key skill and qualification required, if we talk, I think I have covered it along with the presentation itself. So technical expertise. Okay. So advantages of pursuing a career in sustainability energy domain. So as I already discussed that it is always meaningful and rewarding work. That actually it gives you the sense of goodwill also, that you are doing something good for the earth and the coming generation to save their future. And the demand and for the sustainability professionals are growing day by day, not for the only sustainability, but energy professionals also. And salary is really very competitive because it's a niche field, correct? And one if you are in the field of energy and sustainability, so these are actually the standards, and these can be applied on different technologies. So once you are in the field of energy or sustainability, so you will have the advantage to work on various technologies, because energy is what? Energy is used in various industries, various kind of industry. So if you are an energy manager, so you can qualify as an energy manager in any industry. So this is the and sustainability is the same thing. If you are sustainability expert, it is not one thing that if you are sustainability expert, you can only go to the factory which is producing car. No, you can go to the cement factory, you can go to anywhere else. So this is the beauty of this area domain, that if you are an energy manager or sustainability expert, your expertise can be given into any industry. So every field is open for you, correct? Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so overview. So as I already told that the demand for sustainable professional across the various sectors and industries are just increasing, and sustainability reporting and disclosure by the companies and investors, this is the hot topic. Means whatever investors are investing in the companies, now they are just asking the sustainability reports. So for it is compliance for some industries to as a legally give their assurance of sustainability report, provide their sustainability report. But on a wide scale, those industries who are actually not due to compliance, they have to generate the sustainability reporting for the investors also, because now investors are asking for it. So it is going to be a you can say in fashion. So everybody has to do sustainability reporting and assurance, correct? In coming future also, it's going to be massively increasing. Okay, so yes. So future growth prospects are there, increasing government and private sector investment, sustainability and energy transition area, because I already told that government, and if you say the countries in itself are taking targets for the emission reduction. Every country is taking target by which year they will be carbon neutral. So obviously if they want to be carbon neutral or reduce their footprints, GHG footprints, they would have to participate with the private sectors and with investment. So the future prospect is really very good. We are seeing here, and public awareness and these all things also increasing, because if you say before 1.5 years, I don't think people were knowing about the carbon credits and these things. And now with the advent of some companies in India like EKI and other companies who has massively done a very good in equity markets also, and being considered as the unicorn, Indian unicorn. So now massively the awareness is increasing, and advancement of technology and innovation actually also create an opportunity to sustainability, and hence the energy and sustainability professionals will be required in a very massive way. Okay, so the renewable energy and energy efficiency, sustainability consulting. Also, I just tell you about green building, but other emerging fields are the sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture and are the area which is thriving, growing very rapidly due to increase in demand of organic and sustainable food. Correct. So these days you are seeing the people are actually ready to give extra premium on these kind of products. Okay, so the mindset of the people actually changing. Circular economy and waste management. Circular economy and waste management is like that. We have to reduce our waste. So zero waste industries are coming with the idea where each from cradle to grave, the total life cycle analysis is being done, and it is being ensured that the circular economy will be there for industry wise, or means any product wise. So it is also a very niche field, and highly paid jobs are there in circular economy and waste management. Okay, so e-waste or other kind of waste, plastic waste there are. And apart from, we have discussed about greenhouse gas emissions, GHG, carbon credits. So there are also a concept of plastic credit. Correct. So means 1 ton of plastic, if any project is saving, so it will be granted with one plastic credit. So this is also a very niche field, and very few professionals are there. So highly paid jobs. And thereafter, the climate adaptation and resilience planning. This is actually climate adaptation and resilience planning is a very large scale planning. Correct. So it is being done by the World Bank or the governments for the communities, okay, which are under the threat. Suppose that there are Gabon is a country, okay, which is on seashore. So there is a Libreville is a city which can means with the temperature, if 2 degree rise in temperature, average rise in temperatures there. So this city will be submerged in the sea. So these are the climate adaptation resilience planning. So these are the very high level planning. So one can be an expert, means it will take time eventually, means at least 10 years to 15 years they take. But there is also a scope, means the expert in World Bank, in Asian Development Banks, which make the policy with government, partnering with government, and these resilience and adaptation policies they make. Another is the social and environmental impact measures and reporting. So this is also a kind of environmental impact we all know, EIS. So it is clubbed and integrated with social impact. Correct. So these all are the thriving areas which actually I discussed. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. Now, importance of the networking and building professional relationship. Okay. So when we are actually in any university or college, actually, we are confused that at this stage, every student is always confused that what to do and what not to do. Correct. So first of all, you just have to correct. This can be done by an individual only, because we know our capabilities, and we also know our things which are not skills, and which are not our in us. Okay, so we know our weaknesses also, and we know our opportunities also. Correct. We know that what are these areas in which we are strong. Correct. So this analysis has to be made by an individual itself. What you like most, what are you good at, correct? So accordingly, you must choose an area, correct? It can be that you are very good in thermodynamics, one can be very good in mechanicals, correct? So accordingly, he has to choose his area, domain expertise, correct? And then target top 20% of the professional in your field. Field means the field in which you are interested, correct? So there is LinkedIn, there are many various social platforms available, professional platforms, not social, professional platforms available. You can, make some professor mentor, because in universities there are many professors which are doing really very good in research and academics. And okay, sorry, actually I forgot to tell you about one of the opportunity in research and academics also. Academics is also very good area, so one can become a lecturer, a professor in this field also. One can pursue research, R&D center, join some R&D centers also. So means you just check your capabilities and just choose one field. Then from that field, you choose the successful persons. Okay, those successful person, you have to make them mentor. So once you found mentor, so mentor will actually guide you in a better path, correct? So these things you can do, or professional associations you can join. There you can find your mentors. Some sustainability professional network you can join. Okay, some associations just like AEE USA, we are hosting a program here. So means these kind of platform are really good. Okay, next participating in industry events or conferences and webinars. So this is also good. Okay, and reaching out to mentors, I also means alumni might be there. So these are the things which you actually through which you build your network and gain the knowledge. You can become be ready for just getting a job, because there are so many people who are just requiring a job, but why one give you job? Because there are many candidates, correct? So you just have to develop those all skills pre-hand, which actually are required by the industry. Currently, there is a lack of those things. So you can, by the way of awareness, this awareness, you can, pre-hand acquire those knowledge and impress your future, employer. So I think this is a very good way. Connect through LinkedIn. Just request them, sir. Actually, I just want to know about this working style. What you work, and what should I read. So these things means people help, they can help you in developing your career plan if you find a good mentor. Okay, next. So means there are various career websites, there are professional platforms. You can just start using them for your goodwill, and research the companies or organization that align with your interest and values, which I already told you. So just identify those aspects in which you are good, and then top 20% companies, top 20% experts you can target. Okay, from then you can gain the actually knowledge and knowledge about the domain, and knowledge about the jobs, correct? And of course, tailoring your resume and cover letter, so because your relevant skills and experience, which should match with the requirement of the industry actually you are focusing, correct? And this knowledge you will gain only when you will interact with those experts. You will know what work they do, which work they do, what are the skills that are required. Okay, and you have to learn those skills. Only then you will be actually shortlisted from number of CVs. Next slide, please. Okay, so means not the conclusion. I think we have drawn various conclusions in the slide itself, but means those who can, smart buildings and this, they can get the LEED certification. Online courses are there in Coursera, edX. Once you identify the area which you are focusing and the requirement, so you can gather those knowledge. Even in YouTube also there are many courses, free courses also and paid courses also. So as per your requirement, you can do that. And to all, I recommend two books. I have written the name. So, Drawdown by Paul Hawken. This is a very good book about the sustainability. All aspects of the sustainability has been covered with 100 examples of giving the GHG, how GHG can be reduced in various industries, and with total case studies, and with the, how much expense will be there. So this is a very comprehensive book. One should read it. Another is the New Sustainability Advantage by Bob Willard. So these two books are really very good. Another is the web link I'm just sharing, cdm.unfccc.int. So here, if you will go, I can show you just a minute. Can I share my screen? Actually, this is So are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
This is CDM website, correct? So it is cdm.unfccc.int, correct? So here you will go, there are methodologies. You have to go here in methodologies. And once you go into the methodologies, there are, there are large scale methodologies, approved large scale methodologies. There is a link. And then there is small scale methodologies. There is a link for approved small scale methodology. If you will open it, large number of methods are there. Electricity generation methodology, mechanical energy for the user with or without electricity generation. So any kind of industry project you can think, there are the methodologies. And if you open, say, example, I am just opening electricity generation by the user, okay, this methodology. And here it is. You will see this is small scale methodology for electricity generation by the user. You can, for electricity generation project, you can learn a lot of things from here, right from calculation, applicability of the methodologies, correct? Definitions. These are the calculations given in a very simple manner. And data and parameters to be monitored, how to monitor, what are the quality QC procedures. So means you can attain a huge amount of knowledge from this website. It is a very good website. So cdm.unfccc.int. So, okay, can you share the presentation now? Yes, next presentation, next slide. Yes, we actually reached at the end. So thanks for patience. And now we can take the question and answer. Yeah, Manubhendra, means I think time is permitting us. Hello, Manubhendra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can.
You don't have back-to-back session, correct?
Yes, sir. No questions.
Okay. So now
Thank you
I
so
just
much.
invite any questions if you have any.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed an informative session. We would like to take up some of the questions which we have in the chat box. So Tanmay Singha, he wishes to ask why we are using plastic in our daily life, why we are not searching nature-friendly product.
The thing is that means whenever you have to adopt a technology which is cost effective. So now till now there is no technology which is most cost effective than plastic. Okay, so that is the only reason, nothing else. So if some technological innovation happen and next day there is some material which can be cheaper than plastic, of course the plastic will be out of the scenario. But till now means this is unfortunate that no product is there which has means strength equal to the plastic and all this thing. And willingness also, the government willingness is also not there, because every time government actually ban plastic, user side only. If they really they are willing to kind of ban a plastic, they have to means restrict the manufacturing and import. When it is banned, then plastic will be out of scenario. But the government willingness also is not there.
Thank you so much, sir, for the answer. Partha Chakrabarti, he asked how standalone system is used. And his next question is, how can we set up the grid connected PV system by using the standalone system?
Actually, standalone system is kind of system which do not or cannot interact with the grid. Okay, so standalone systems are like a system which has been provided with some battery backup. Okay, and standalone, I'm just means thinking that you are asking about solar power project only. Okay, so any kind of although standalone project is that which cannot interact with the grid, and a project which is standalone that can be made grid connected with the help of inverters which are having the aspect of anti-islanding. So anti-islanding is a feature of a grid connector inverter, which actually at the event when grid is off, so it will cut off the electricity, because any power plant, when grid supply is off, then they cannot reverse feed the grid, because in that event, if any person who is kind of working on the line and they have shut down the grid electricity, then your project can back power that line, and that person can be killed. So any inverter which has feature of anti-islanding, that can be connected to the grid, and your standalone project can be made a grid connected.
Thank you so much for your answer, sir. Hemanta Roy, he's a student of ISWBM. He asked, can you suggest some rescos for our career opportunities? And what are the skill set required for being a power trader?
Power trader. Okay. So power, first question was the Resco company's name, correct? So there is a Resco company name is Fourth Partner. Okay, so they are massively installing solar power project on the facility of industries and selling the power. So one of the prominent name is Fourth Power, and apart from this, there are Raise Power, M Plus, AMP, LUS, M Plus Solar, AMP Solar, AMP, AMP Solar. So these are some few names. And the second question was?
What are the skill set required to be a power trader?
Power trader, correct?
Yes.
So power trader, actually for power trading, you need a license from IEX, Indian Exchange, for power trading. So I think I'm not sure, but 10 to 20 lakh, you have to just deposit there. You have to take a power trading license, and then you can, approach the power producers to have PPA, that you will sell their power in certain price, and then you have to locate some power consumer who has the requirement of electricity. So by trilateral agreement, you can then start trading the electricity, and this is how they actually earn money. Suppose to producer, they will say that I will purchase your electricity in 6 rupees, and to seller they will say I will sell you 7 rupees. Then 1 rupee margin they will take with them. So they earn money with the margin, but that margin is, quantum of electricity is always high, so margin is also very high.
Thank you so much for your answer, sir. Chayan Dirdangi, he asks, can you describe about the circular economy?
Circular economy is kind of economy. I'm not expert to that, but means up to what I understand is circular economy is from cradle to grave. Every material you are using, even there is a life cycle analysis, LCA you say. So LCA starts from some resource, from the farm or from the you can say from the farm or from the mineral resources, okay, which are in the form of some excavation or anything, they can be. So from the source to the end product, and when end product is there, there will be some waste, and that waste again then recycled, and it will serve as the source again. So it then in this case, this circle will be continuously moving without any producing any waste from the product and end product, because whatever waste will be left, then again as a resource it will go to the factory, and this circle is complete always. So this is the circular economy. So circular economy is kind of very sustainable in manner, because in that economy you utilize product 100%, and there is no wastage of resources, and you save them.
Thank you so much for your answer, sir. Hemanta Roy, who asked about the skills required for the power trader, he has a follow-up question, whether forecasting is required for power trading or not.
No, for power trading, forecasting is not required, but forecasting is a different aspect. Forecasting and scheduling is one of the aspect which is required. Actually, you should understand that how grid has some limited capability of handling a power. Okay? So they schedule the power, because suppose there is a grid, okay, nearby you, and there are 10 power projects which are actually connected to that grid. So now, in order to schedule power efficiently, grid need to know that how much power these 10 power plants will feed to me on daily basis. So there is a day ahead forecasting. Actually, they ask from those power producers that you tell us that tomorrow how much electricity you will feed to us. Correct. So the forecasting is done by the power producers, which they actually provide to the regional grids in order to that that grid can maximize their power capabilities. Accordingly, they plan scheduling and shading of the electricity. If they have to cut some electricity somewhere, because if it is not 100% available, if it is 120% available, then they can schedule 20% to another grid, something like that. So for scheduling purpose, actually grid asks the forecasting and scheduling from power producers. Traders always give the requirement.
Sorry, sir.
Power traders always give the requirement to grid, that on means how much power they will be requiring. They give the requirement. Yes.
I hope that is much more clear to Hemanta Roy. Vaibhav Nag asked, beside TCFD, what are other major sustainability frameworks one must know for being a sustainability consultant? And the second part is, why don't we have one universal framework for sustainability?
So we have the one that is GRI. GRI means globally accepted. So I think this is the one which is globally accepted, and many companies and even big fours are working on this only, this aspect, GRI, Global Response Initiative.
All right, sir. I would now request our Professor BKC sir to kindly deliver the official vote of thanks.
Good evening to everybody. I am
Very good evening,
very
sir.
happy to. Good evening. I am happy and also I'm sorry for some communication gap. I was in a program in Gold Coast Ramakrishna Mission, but there was some communication gap. I hope you have a nice time and I was listening to your wonderful presentation. So at the outset, on behalf of IISWBM, Energy Management Department, and on behalf of the AE Kolkata chapter, I would like to thank you, Mr. Harish Sharma, from Carbon Check India Private Limited, for delivering a wonderful talk on leverage your career opportunities in sustainability and energy domain. And you have nicely covered the basic related topics like energy efficiency, renewable energy, power, RESCO, sustainability, environment policy, green building, greenhouse gas accounting, assurance, carbon credit, and also you have guided the students about the necessary skill development, not only in your presentation, but also in the question answer session. Also about the advantage of this career in this new area, the emerging fields, and given some tips for success and strategy for searching a better appropriate job for those who are interested to explore this particular emerging area. So it is very interesting, and we all thank you, all the participants. On behalf of the participants, also more than 60. I noticed that at some times there were more than 60 participants, and we all are benefited with your nice presentation. In spite of your busy schedule, of course, you are in carbon checks, a lot of work are there, and still you have spent your Saturday evening. So thank you for that. This type of program we are conducting every month on second Saturday from 7 to 8, and that is to not only help to enrich ourselves, but also we help others in the region. It is a webinar, open free webinar. We do not charge anything for the participants, and we try to raise the awareness and people come in this field, because this is the mission and vision of our institute, the first management education institute of our country. In 1953 it was established, and in 1993, much before Bureau of Energy Efficiency came into existence, we started the energy management course. And such the visionaries are there in the institute. And now, even in 2004, before we started a chapter, you mentioned about networking and about the relevance of having contacts with international bodies like Association of Energy Engineers. We started the first India chapter in 2003 in IISWBM, and the first greenhouse gas accounting cell in this region. Also, we started in 2004. We did some pilot projects on behalf of Louis Berger Group, and that was about that World Business Council for Sustainable Development. They have some set criteria like type A, type B, type C, and how their scope, different scope of accounting emission, and then accounting them in the different standard procedure, internationally standardized procedure. So these types of things are actually coming up in a very, very fast manner now. And so your talk has become so much relevant, because we also have committed, you have mentioned SEBI has already notified 1,000 top companies. Not only that, you have mentioned that it will subsequently be compulsory. not only that business responsibility and sustainability reporting by those top companies, but also for all the major energy guzzlers, or at least obviously the DCs and any energy intensive companies who are emitting carbon. For them it will be extremely important, because India, we have committed to become net zero by 2070. So it is very less time actually for such a vast country to become net zero. And so it is very nice, and we wish that we shall have continuous interaction with you, as you have ignited their interest in this emerging field, and we hope that many of them will actually explore this particular area. Thank you
Sure,
very
sure.
much once again.
Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary. Pleasure is mine, and I really appreciate all the things which you are doing. Actually, this is very good for the students, and I just want to give message to all students that you are really blessed having such a faculties who are actually taking such a good initiatives. Yeah, I'm really happy. Thank you so much, and I'm really glad that you have invited me in such a platform where I can share the knowledge and uh, interact with the student.
Thank you. Yeah, you are welcome. Actually, whenever you feel you are having some trip to Kolkata, please come to our institute. We can have some physical interactive session also.
Sure, sir. Sure. Definitely will come, sir.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thanks all.
Thank you
So much,
Thank
sir,
you
for
so much.
sparing your time. We would like to request the participants to kindly fill up their feedback form. So in order to get the digital certificate, thank you for joining. You may now leave. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, sir.